Is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and this morning we put the spotlight on Michellustrations as we talk to artist, Mistress Michelle Bryan, and telling us about her journey and what her paintings and designs depict. It is a pleasure to have you in studio with me this morning, Michelle. Welcome. Good morning, and thank you for having me. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by GreenTurtle.ky and Cayman Medical Supplies. It's brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 until 9 a.m. Now, Michellustrations is a protest of beauty in a chaotic world. Most of the art is inspired by the word Bible, which manifests itself through her illustrations, paintings, letterings, and design. She also creates business cards, designs flyers, wedding signs, birthday signs, chalkboard art, greeting cards, and much more. All artwork is for sale and open to commission. But, Michelle, I'm interested in finding out how you got involved in art in the first place.
Well, from the time I was a little girl in Bontown Primary School, I loved to do art. Their art class was very vibrant. We had a kiln, we had pottery, we had ceramics, we had tiling, we had painting. It had a lot of art in that school. So from the time I was a little girl, I was showing up on career day as an artist.
Nice. How would you describe your style of art?
I would describe it as something that is lively, very vibrant, lots of color. It's child friendly because the most art style that I'm interested in is children book illustrations.
Has anyone ever approached you to use your art in, let's say, children's books?
Yes, I actually have illustrated 2 local children's books, which have yet to be published, but look out for them.
Nice.
So that is definitely my niche that I'm most interested in.
I understand that you're doing some work also with Taste of Cayman. It's right around the corner. How did that come into fruition?
That came into fruition late last year by a friend of mine who's working for the marketing agency for Taste of Cayman, Tower Marketing. They contacted me and asked if I would be willing to illustrate for Taste of Cayman, and I was very, very keen. So they saw my designs on my social media platforms, and they contacted me just to do their illustrations.
Excellent. How does that make you feel, understanding that you just took this up from primary school, and here you are for one of a very huge event that's taking place and is growing each year, to be asked to have your work featured?
I'm very excited. I think I'm very honored as well, because I think that I'm definitely just starting out in the art community in Cayman. So I'm very honored, very excited, just feel very blessed by that.
Now, I understand and not going straight into the art community and how people respond to art, but what is your take on the public, the Cayman Islands, having respect that's given to artists and painters? What's your take on that?
I definitely believe that people respect artists on island. I mean, we have a lot of established artists like Gordon Solomon, Randy Chalet. Yeah, we have a lot of different artists on the scene. You can see them at the National Gallery or the Ritz Gallery. There's definitely respect for their work and the time and skill that it takes to complete an art piece. For me, I definitely get approached, and I'm always told that, I love your work, it's very different, unique. And so there is definitely some respect for artists in Cayman.
Now, you brought some paintings, some artwork here. Can you describe, and we are streaming live on YouTube, so if persons hear me speaking and you're listening to me as you commute to your work, I'm speaking to those who are streaming live on YouTube. Can you describe what you have brought here today?
Well, I actually brought all of my books and I brought a few that are matted.
Okay.
So I brought a variety of a range of different items because I do a range of different art.
Right.
I don't stick to one.
Now I'm drawn to the little girl in the pink.
This one,
Yes. Tell me about that. I don't know why I'm drawn to that one.
This one, I love this one actually. It's one of my favorite
Interesting.
ones. She actually has natural hair, as you can see.
Yes.
She's wearing pink, and she has there's pink leaves behind her. She's in just an illustration of a young girl, a person of color, because I actually feel like they're underrepresented in the art community.
I totally agree.
So I do a lot of people of color in my art, just so that, young children can see themselves as well in their books.
And identify.
Definitely. So I do illustrations like that, and I also do word art illustrations. So as you can see here, this is a tree that is rooted and very colorful, and it looks very alive. Like this, you can see the light shining on it from this direction. I don't know if you can see from there.
Mm-hmm. And read out what is on that.
Well, it's actually the verse from Colossians 2, verse 6. It says, "Live your lives in Him, rooted and built up in Him being Christ."
Right, powerful. Now, if someone wanted and sees that now on YouTube or maybe on your social media, one of your social media platforms, what would that cost?
What would that cost? Yes.
Average,
it's about $80. With the mat is actually $10.
Okay.
That's disbursement there. They can contact me via Facebook or Instagram.
Okay. And what is your Instagram and Facebook account name?
It's Michellustrations, KY.
Okay. Michellustrations, KY. Now, looking at separating your God-given talent as an artist and putting a price point to your work, did you find any challenges in that? Because it's hard to really put a price tag.
Yeah. Some things you just don't want to part with, too. Like these are actually one of my favorites that I brought today. But it is difficult because you invest a lot of time and thought, and it's just a concept that you think about in your mind that you put on paper. But actually, the standard way to price art is just the materials plus the time that it takes. And so, a piece generally would take me maybe 4 hours, 5 hours to do. And you just calculate that. You add the material cost.
When do you find is the best time for you to get your best out? Is it early in the morning, very late at night? When do you produce? I
think I'm a night owl.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Okay. That's your way of unwinding.
It is, actually. I'd come home from a long day at work, and I actually just love doing this. So I could stay up till 2 in the morning.
So the house is very quiet then?
It is, actually, yeah.
What have you seen have been some general trends here in the Cayman art scene that you are finding, artists are more attracted to or more driven to undertake? I
feel in Cayman, a lot of artists do island theme artwork, and that is what sells, definitely.
Of course.
So
tropical island.
Definitely.
Scenic.
A lot of people like even Christmas cards that are, Cayman featured, have a Cayman twist on it.
Yes.
And so anything to do with Cayman culture, Cayman tradition, that is definitely what artists in Cayman are more keen to do.
Now, do you feel that artists should specialize in one type of art, or should they, forget about finding their niche and do a variety of art to appeal to a greater cross-section of persons?
I think everyone has their niche. Like for me, it's definitely the children's book illustrations that I love to illustrate the most. But any artist will tell you any platform, any surface, they will do some art on it. And so a lot of people have different variety in what they work in, whether that's on the chalkboard or, watercolor paper, acrylic paper. Some people do it even on, out in the environment,
right.
Murals, even like beach chairs. There's so many different places to do art. Even your nails are art.
Yes. I'm seeing some weird things on Facebook and Pinterest now with what people are doing with nails. That's a total different show.
I love nail
it's
art.
Very interesting. Now, you understand what I would do at a desk or having a conversation on a phone call, I call it doodle. Can you say the same thing for you being an artist when you're on the floor? You actually just draw.
Definitely. I actually have so many different doodle books by my desk. And my boss, she actually knows that I love to do art, so she will even, she has given me things art related.
Really?
Yeah, she's a very good boss. And so I think doodle is art too. That's actually where I started doing doodle art. Yeah.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by GreenTurtle.ky and Cayman Medical Supplies as we put the spotlight on Michellustrations. Hearing what it's like in the art scene and seeing some of her work showcased here as we're streaming live on YouTube. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll hear a little bit more about the importance of having a website, getting her work out there, the creating a smaller, work art and where she sees the scene from her perspective, going with her God-given talent. You got to keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas. Wade Taylor Foster, 1886-1971. Mr. Taylor was born on the Brack, the second child of Wilford and Alma Foster. He was a serious student who excelled in school. He accepted Christ when he was a teenager and became a deacon in Ebenezer Baptist Church at an early age. He married Hilda Scott, with whom he had 6 sons. He was the only Baptist preacher and the only marriage officer on Cayman Brack for many years. Mr. Taylor was a carpenter, boat builder, and businessman, as well as a cattle farmer who provided the island with beef, especially at Christmas time. He was a government auditor on Cayman Brack for 40 years, for which he was awarded the Cayman Islands Medal of Honor. Turtle fishermen all knew him as he outfitted their boats, and on their rerun home, he purchased their turtle shell for shipment to England. He provided work and sustenance for many families through his shops and his cattle business, and his generosity helped many Brackers survive during and after World War II.
Radio Cayman's Historical Facts Vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
When you need stability, think Business of the Year.
Considering a new career opportunity, think Best Place to Work.
When dependability matters, think Outstanding Workforce.
In need of a reliable financial partner, think Bank of the Year.
When you seek excellence, think Cayman National.
No matter how many accomplishments we achieve, we always set the bar higher. That's why we are the most awarded bank in Cayman, and we are proud to be your
2018 Bank of the Year.
You may have heard of them by now. GreenTurtle.ky, a one-stop shop for your mobile needs. Whether shopping for a new phone or topping up a loved one, it's time to hop aboard the Green Turtle Express. From 24-hour delivery in Grand Cayman to sending credit worldwide, GreenTurtle.ky is the future of mobile. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. GreenTurtle.ky. They get there first.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
If you are seeking a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree, the Ministry of Education is now accepting applications for the 2019 Overseas Scholarships. Give yourself the education you deserve and apply today. All scholarship applications must be submitted by January 31st, 2019. For more information on scholarships and the application process, kindly visit education.gov.ky.
Flowers Bottled Water is a sponsor of Radio Cayman's CI Retro Talk Today, special Cayman Islands historical program series. Flowers Bottled Water, the cooler water. Telephone 949-8688. The next CI Retro Talk Today special program presentation comes your way on Thursday, January the 17th at 12:15 p.m. on Radio Cayman.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight on Michellustrations. And for those of you streaming live on YouTube, you will notice that she's holding up another adorable picture that has also caught my attention. And Michelle, I'll ask you to describe what that is you're holding up in your hand right now.
This is an illustration of a little girl reading, and she's on a comfy couch that is about aqua blue green color, which is one of my favorite colors. And you can see around her what she's reading is coming to life. Uh-huh. So she looks like she's underwater, maybe with some very pink seagrass around her. Right. And the quote that I put to that illustration is, "You can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me." And that's a C.S. Lewis quote.
Okay, I want you to, do that. What is the reading saying on the bottom?
I just read that. It says, "You can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me." C.S. Lewis.
No, you could make that Caymanian a cup of Milo.
Cup of Milo. That's true. Everybody loves a Milo.
Exactly. Excellent work. And again, for those who are interested in saying, why is Sabrina doing this? I'm driving. When you get home from work and unwinding, just go on to Radio Cayman's YouTube and you will see what we're talking about here this morning. But I'm hope that we're describing it as best as possible so that you can use your creative imagination and see exactly what Michelle is displaying here in studio. Now let's talk a little bit, Michelle, about consigning your work and the importance of, but we'll do them one at a time, in getting your work out there for persons to see your work, the importance of a website. So let's start with the consignment. How do you get into consigning your work?
Well, actually, I always did art, but it was only when I established an Instagram page that I actually got a lot of hits, you know what I mean? And also the Facebook page is where I get a lot of commissions. So people will contact me and they say, hey, I have an idea that I would like you to illustrate. Or I have, I would like a family portrait. Yeah. Or I have a wedding coming up. Can you do a sign for this? So that is definitely where I would say the importance of having a site is to get your work out there, get it seen, make yourself known, get a platform, and share it.
Do you find that smaller artwork tend to sell better generally, or does it vary?
Smaller artwork? I think it varies, definitely. It depends on what the client wants, because I know some people like smaller stuff. Some people want a bigger piece, and then that would be, just on its own. So it just depends, I think. It varies.
On people's desires. Now let's talk about the importance of networking and being supportive to other artists as well.
Definitely support each other. There's a lot of artists on the scene in Cayman. And how to network, I'd say join, the National Gallery. They have a membership. There is the Cayman Craft Market. There's Red Sky at Night. There's Art Nest Creative Studio. Yes. That is definitely...
They've been featured here a number of times.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the great places to go. That's actually where I got started, too, as well, with watercolor paint. I took a class there.
Oh, nice.
A month-long class, yeah.
Now, what are some valuable tips you could extend to artists as it pertains to being a good artist and creating artwork that sells?
Artwork that sells. That is
not to hold.
Not to hold. Well, for me, I actually didn't think about selling at first. You know, it was just loving art and loving to produce and be creative. It was only when people started contacting me like, hey, can I buy this? Or hey, can you do this, customize one of this
then
for me?
Then you looked at it totally
differently.
differently.
I said, okay, maybe someone is willing to pay me for something that I love to do. I would do this for free. And so that's when I realized I could monetize it.
And here you are today being featured on the Business Buzz.
Thank you
getting
so
even much more exposure. So what kind of artwork can we expect from you in the future? Do you think you will continue in this vein, or as you get older gracefully, that your whole concept and art style will possibly change?
I'm definitely open to growing and developing as an artist. And so I can see myself definitely improving as I practice daily. But I would love to work more with children book illustrations and more authors on island.
Yeah.
Or family portraits. I love to do family portraits because that is just, I love families and I love working with kids. And
now, not being an artist by any means, but I'm seeing a number of hearing a lot more about 3D. Have you tried to venture into that? Maybe, let's say, in your doodling before you do a masterpiece?
I'm definitely a little old school because I like the pen and I like the pencil and the actual physical paint. So I don't have, like, I'm not on the computer with the computer art.
Okay.
But definitely something I'd be willing to
look into
to branch out into.
Again, you got to find what works for you, what you're most comfortable with, and not necessarily following behind. It's people's desires and what they want will come out into, like what you're saying, people are coming up to you now. You never saw it where you could possibly make a living off of this because that is your talent.
Right.
Putting a price tag to that and just how people perceive it is totally different. Because when you look at the piece with the little girl in the chair, where was your mind at that time that inspired that? Were you reminiscing your day as a child, what it felt like? Was there a smell or season in the time that evoked that image that you then put it on paper?
Well, I love C.S. Lewis writing. You know, he wrote the Narnia books. He wrote a book called Mere Christianity. It was very influential to me in my faith. And I think that children should be reading more and knowing just how wonderful your imagination is and reading a book and opening that up. And it's good for their learning as well. So I just wanted to encourage reading, imagining. And it does remind me of a chair, actually, of one chair that my grandmother had growing up.
I know you had to have been someplace in your mind.
Yes.
Now, tell us about some art shows or events that you've been hired to do some work for. And are there any upcoming exhibitions that you'll be a part of?
Yes, I'm actually going to be at Taste of Cayman.
Oh, good.
Major one coming up this month. So I'll be doing live artwork there. And my illustrations will be life-size there, which is awesome.
Nice. And that's the 26th, Saturday the 26th.
Right. And also I'll be at Red Sky at Night.
Right.
I'll have a booth there on their Thatch Walk, which I'm at. This is actually my third year there.
Good. And the more exposure you get, the more your name your brand will go out there. Now, are you prepared for possibly that demand mentally and just overall for the exposure that you're going to be given?
Most definitely.
Why not?
Why not? I love to do art. So if I have more people coming to me for more art, I will be keen to do it. I'm very excited about working with other people and getting their concepts on paper. I love hearing their vision. Or if someone just says, just go with it, or I'll go with whatever you think. That's awesome too, because that gives me that license to do whatever I would like to do. So, but I'm definitely open to working with more people.
How are you able to strike a balance with getting home into your own space, having peace and quiet, and just indulging, just delving into your art and work in the chaotic world that we're living in? It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, like I said, I love to do art. So for me, this is unwinding. So when I get home and I have art to do, it is, for me, like the dream. It's where I'm most relaxed I have my cup of tea, I have my music going, I have my art, my paint, my water, and I have at it. And I go down this hole where it's a good hole to be down, you know what I mean?
Yes,
You get lost down there.
Lost in your thoughts and creativity.
It's a good place to be, and when I finish a piece, it feels like an accomplishment, so that I go to sleep feeling like I did something.
Nice. I wish we all could find that niche in unwinding, right, Susan? What do? Head to Peppers. Maybe we just head to Peppers. How can persons get more information on your work and inspiring those young artists who may be out there listening to you this morning or who is around you and want to be or aspire to be like you in getting their art at this stage? There's still a lot more growth.
There is definitely
but you're
more growth.
well on your way, Michelle.
I would say that they should practice daily, that they should seek a community on island of artists. Artnest is a great community. It's a great place to learn about all kinds of different art. They have resin art, they have watercolor art, acrylic art, they have ceramics, pottery, painting. There's so many things to do there that you could find your niche, or you can just do everything if you want. I would say that they should get their work out there by having a page and engage with their followers.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the sake of our listening audience who may be interested to see and speak to you more about your artwork, what are your contact details and what's the best way in them to reach you?
They should reach me on my Facebook page or my Instagram page. Michellustrations, KY.
Michelle, it has been a pleasure speaking with you, and it's a delight to see your work. I want to encourage you to continue in your work, and definitely I will be speaking to you again in the future. Who to tell? Maybe
Thank
international.
You. Thank you very much.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky and Cayman Medical Supplies. We're going to break for the 8 o'clock news, sports, and weather update. After that, we'll put the spotlight on the Dream Studio. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Sabrina. And studio time now by Price Right is $7.59.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
Access to information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Government says a group of 8 Cuban migrants in the Immigration Detention Center have been refusing food. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The group of Cubans late last week began a protest asking for concerns to be addressed over immigration processing, access to free bilingual attorneys, and a desire to be released into the community. A GIS press release says Acting Chief Immigration Officer Garfield Wong met with the migrants on January 10th and committed to addressing their concerns. It also said that additional meetings with immigration and other agencies would be planned. When the migrants refused food, Her Majesty's Cayman Islands Prison Service, which is responsible for their care and custody, implemented its protocols. Those include close observations and medical checks by Health Services Authority staff. Immigration and prison officers say the protest is peaceful and they are working to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. The group of 8 detainees were among 11 who arrived in the Cayman Islands on September 28th when their boat got into distress in local waters on the way to Central America. 2 persons from the group have already been repatriated to Cuba. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
10 migrants who've been on island for a considerably longer period of time to accommodate the immigration process remain on release in the community. For security reasons, they have been subject to electronic monitoring since the release program started in August. Caribbean Utilities Company moves forward with its integrated resource plan. According to a press release issued by the power company, the Utility Regulation and Competition Office gave the green light on the plan that, quote, provides a roadmap for future energy resource decisions and addresses issues around transitioning from a largely fossil fuel-based portfolio to a renewable energy-dominated portfolio, as well as the benefits of introducing natural gas as a fuel and the value of storage and base load renewable generation technology. Officials say the acceptance of the IRP by OFREG does not greenlight any individual project that may fall within the roadmap, and specific approvals will be required. The Cayman Islands Red Cross Thrift Shop gets a new temporary home. Manager of the shop, Remy Imperial.
Our temporary location is at Unit 130 Cannon Place, 294 North Sound Road. It is because of the ongoing renovations at the Red Cross headquarters, being the top floor. The second floor is one of the national shelters, and the first one to open. So that's why we are in our temporary location, and we'll be here until the end of May.
Shop hours are Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 2 and 5 to 7, Friday from 9 to 2, and Saturday from 7:30 to 1:30. The thrift shop is the most popular service of the Red Cross, offering new and gently used items ranging from clothes, shoes to furniture and appliances, and other household and miscellaneous items, which are all generously donated by members of the community. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Neil Nunes. One of North Korea's main nuclear negotiators is in Beijing en route to the United States to help with preparations for a second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un. Kim Yong-chol is thought to be carrying a message for President Trump from the North Korean leader. A Ghanaian investigative journalist who helped expose corruption in Ghanaian football has been killed in the capital, Accra. Ahmed Hussein Swaleh was shot 3 times on Wednesday night as he drove home. Taiwan has asked its allies to condemn China for asking multinational firms not to refer to the island as a separate country. A state-run newspaper in China reported that 66 foreign companies had wrongly labeled Taiwan. Federal prosecutors in the United States are reported to be investigating the Chinese tech firm Huawei for allegedly stealing trade secrets from American business partners, including T-Mobile. Neither Huawei nor T-Mobile have commented. President Putin of Russia is expected to receive a warm welcome from people in Serbia, even as it prepares to join the European Union. Mr. Putin wants to underline Moscow's strong ties with Serbia. The authorities in Kenya say 9 people have been arrested in connection with Tuesday's siege at a hotel in Nairobi. They said an investigation is underway to track down those who helped organize the attack. BBC News.
Access to information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Kick back at the Cayman Creperie this Friday with some Bubbles and Blues. Bubbles and Blues. There's something different in Georgetown's waterfront. Bubbles and Blues. Sip some bubbly with the serenading sounds of the blues with a mighty fine view. Bubbles and Blues, starting at 5 p.m. Donate and get a complimentary glass of bubbles and enter into the amazing raffle. Bubbles and Blues, a pop-up event in support of NCVO. The Cayman Creperie this Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Bubbles and Blues. Bubbles and Blues.
Hello, I'm Joseph Woods, the Acting Port Director. Our port facility is the hub of the Cayman Islands commerce and economic activity, handling $658 million in imported goods annually. From groceries to construction materials, all sectors of our economy depend on the port. But it is now 40 years old. Its infrastructure is degrading, and we feel the strain from insufficient space for both cargo and cruise operations. The time is now. A new expanded port facility is needed to allow both cargo and cruise to operate efficiently and to support our island's continued growth and development. Support the port, support our tourism, support Cayman's continued growth and development.
On Thursday at 12:15 p.m. on Radio Cayman, Health Service Station will bring you the next CI Retro Talk Today special Cayman Islands Cultural and Heritage Program presentation, which focuses on Celebrate Cayman, this year's Heroes Day theme. Health Service Station, Hell Road in West Bay, family owned and operated for over 45 years. Now that calls for a celebration. Health Service Station, where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. Visit Health Service Station for all of your car care products.
In financial news, world markets were mostly lower today on renewed concern over the outlook for China's economy after some provinces lowered their growth targets for 2019. Keeping score in Europe, Germany's DAX fell 0.4% at 10,885, and France's CAC 40 retreated 0.2% to 4,799. Britain's FTSE 100 sank 0.4% at 6,837. Wall Street was set for early losses with Dow futures 0.3% lower at 24,069. S&P 500 futures fell 0.4% to 2,602. Looking at Asia's day, Hong Kong's Hang Seng dropped half a percentage point to 26,755, and the Shanghai Composite Index lost 0.4% to 2,559. Japan's Nikkei 225 index edged 0.2% lower to 20,402. In energy, benchmark U.S. crude oil fell 28 cents to $52.03 a barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. The contract gained 20 cents to settle at $52.31 per barrel on Wednesday. Brent crude, the international standard, dropped 19 cents to $61.13. It added 68 cents to $61.32 a barrel in London. And in currencies, the dollar fell to 108.83 yen from 109.13 yen late Wednesday. The euro rose to 1.1397 from 1.1394, while the British pound eased to 1.2872 from 1.2885.
Pleasant good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate moderate northeasterly winds and seas continues across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a tight pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show scattered showers south of the Cayman area moving towards the south. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the low 80s today and fall to the low 70s tonight. Winds will be northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:24, low tide this afternoon at 4:25, and a high tide again tonight at 9:41. The sun will set this evening at 8 minutes past 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 3 minutes after 7. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning. And once again, we give you the latest traffic advisory. Coming from the eastern Shamrock Road, busy traffic. Slight delays expected this morning, so extra patience needed again. Also on the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is busy. Steady but flowing traffic on some sections of Crew Road, other sections a little busy. And traffic steady coming off of Agnes Way, just off the Linford Pearson Highway. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. In and out of Georgetown and Shedden Road, things are looking pretty good as traffic is flowing nicely. Light to moderate traffic flow coming from the West Bay four-way stop, and moderate flow of traffic heading towards the West Bay four-way stop. On Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is moderate, and moderate flow of traffic as well on Edward Street in front of the Georgetown Post Office. And on North Sound Road, traffic flowing moderately. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll update you traffic-wise. Have a good morning and buckle up.
This Health Flash is brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Over 65 million people around the world have moderate or severe COPD, a family of diseases that includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Cleveland Clinic, Florida offers a wide range of management and treatment options for COPD, including programs focused on education, medication, smoking cessation, and pulmonary rehabilitation. A team of experts is ready to review your symptoms and test results to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. For more information, visit clevelandclinicflorida.org.
If your 2019 resolutions include clear and healthy skin, then ask the pharmacist at Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor about Proactive and X-Out skincare products. Get your best blemish-free skin ever with dermatologist-developed Proactive. X-Out is a revolutionary doctor-developed acne treatment designed just for teens. This one-step face cleanser works 3 ways to clear up acne. Ask the pharmacist at the Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor for advice on Proactive and X-Out. 2019 will be your year of clear and healthy skin. Healthcare Pharmacy, Grand Harbor.
It's the CMEA's 11th Annual Music Festival Weekend, coming January 25th to 28th, Heroes Day Weekend. 5 events over 4 days. Friday the 25th, catch the DJ Showcase.
Cayman Cabana.
Soul Karama.
Carib Cafe.
Reggae Revolution. Silverside's Dance Party.
Saturday the 26th, see the Young Musicians Showcase at 1 p.m. at the Hockwell Theater, followed by the Heroes Salute at 7 p.m. at the Havana Club. Sunday the 27th, don't miss the Music Awards ceremony at the Hockwell Theater. And on Monday, Heroes Day, the live music showcase will merge with the Heroes Day ceremony in Georgetown for an evening of live local music. For more detailed information or tickets for the 11th Annual Music Festival, call 928-7665 or visit the Cayman Music and Entertainment Association on Facebook. Music Festival Weekend, 4 days, 5 events. Don't miss the celebration of Cayman's top musical talent.
Over 60 Cayman athletes are vying for a spot on the 2019 Carifta team. Coach Kenrick Williams says there are over 60 athletes from 5 different clubs on island.
Rasheen Brown is doing exceptionally well. He has broken the school record in the 60-meter hurdles. And you have Lacey Barnes, who ranked number 10 in her conference. And down in Jamaica, you have a few young boys doing long jump, like Louis Gordon, and a few of them at Calabar High School, Kasif Dawkins, Dushan Murray. They have raced last weekend, and we are looking for them to race this weekend again to make a proper evaluation and see how close they are getting to the qualifying standard. Because by the time March roll around, we'll be having our national trials, Carifta trials. So most of those who are competing are doing extremely well, especially, as I said, those 2 that are in university. And I must say that Denellis has taken up her scholarship, javelin scholarship, and she's somewhere in Tennessee.
The Carifta Games will be held at the Truman Bond Sports Complex over the Easter weekend, April 20th through the 22nd. And in rugby news, co-captain Dylan Hartley is absent from England's initial Six Nations squad because of a knee injury. The Northampton hooker has not played in nearly 4 weeks and will not be available for England's tournament opener against Ireland on February 2nd.
Under the big tree, where everyone would be, having a big party down Ardeen. Ardeen cooking up a rundown, people dancing all around. The whole of watering place down Ardeen. Everyone having fun, and the food can't done down Ardeen in watering place. Best yam cake around, lemonade to chase it down Ardeen in watering place. When the whistle blow, Bully will let you know it's time for you to go down Ardeen. Let it fresh beef and pork, septic giving jokes. Antida and why and Sammy down Nadine. The whole family having fun and the food can't done down Nadine in watering place. The best yam cake around, lemonade to chase it down Nadine in watering place. You're young and bold, and he would say, never go old. And a big, big smile coming from Adine. Adine reaching to 101 was a blessing in the sun. And everyone really loved Adine. Everyone having fun, the food can't done. Down Adine's in watering place. The best yam cake around, lemonade to chase it down. Down on these in watering place. People from Weston too, even Grandma Doodoo. Everybody they coming down Nadine. The O'Connor family around, the Scots and the Browns. Everybody they running down Nadine. Everyone having fun and the food can't done. Down Nadine in watering place. The best yam cake around, lemonade to chase it down. Down Nadine in watering place. Remember the days with Lionel and Tida, and Sparky sitting by the theater, his bicycle parked in the corner, and Sparky watching her like a tiger. Sparky riding her every day, riding all the way from Scott Bay. They say the bicycle getting licks, 'cause Sparky's beating her with sticks. Sparky, 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 don't do that to me. Sparky, 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 feeling so tipsy. Coming from Blackie Place, they say he went to get a little taste. Now he feeling a little tipsy, and he fall on the ground already. Then they stop by and pick him up, but Sparky cursing and he block up. He don't care what nobody say. Sparky still riding Spot Bay.